Thanks for the host, Raku. Yes, hello. Alright. So, we last left off learning about the Totentaz, the Dance of the Damned. Which apparently is something that stems up after a tragedy, though sometime after the tragedy, after the major shock wears off and people start to have to adapt to the new life after they figured out survival in that after the tragedy of the calamity. That is something which our dancing troupe in particular deals with. So now we're going to continue on and hopefully learn more. And also dance more, hopefully. Nashamira is smiling at you expectantly. Ah, Aelet, your timing is impeccable. I just received word from Ishgard. The powers that be have decided to welcome Troop Falcium with open arms. Fortunately, there are no rumors to suggest that the Totentaz has already struck in the city or any of the surrounding regions in Coerthas. And yet, word has it some of the less privileged Hey, Carl! Some of the less privileged residents of the city have grown increasingly vocal of late. Not entirely unlike what we witnessed in Ul'dah. We must be vigilant. And so I would like to ask you and Rana to make for the Holy See as soon as you are able. I would join you, but I fear my wounds are not healing as quickly as I had hoped. I would only slow you down. Leave it to us, Mistress Nashamira. No matter what shadows plague the people's heart, there'll be no match for your two favorite prodigies. Hello, kitty. Come, Aelet. Ishgard awaits us. Which way was it again? Alright. Off to Ishgard we go. Okay. Let's see. Where's she at? Oh, right here. Kitty really wants to be on the desk. Okay. Brrr! Why, my arms and legs feel like they're gonna freeze and snap off like icicles. How can you even bear this, Aelet? Long practice. Yeah, I've gotten used to it. Yeah. I suppose adventurers like you get to experience all sorts of climbs in your travels. Perhaps with time I'll get used to it too. Anyhow, our first order of business is to pay our respects to our host. I've been told that one Sir Handalope... Handalope? Really? Okay, never mind. Awaits us at a place they call the Congregation. I take it you know the way? Why, yes, I believe I do. Come on, kitty. Down here. Well met, Aelet. It is always a pleasure to welcome you back to Ishgard. Though I must say, I did not expect to see you return to us as a member of a traveling dance troupe. Just wait until you see her on stage. She's a sight to behold. Oh, but forgive me. My name is Ron Amigo, and I thank you for opening the gates of your fair city to Troop Falcium. The pleasure is ours. I must confess that I found the reports from our friends at the Twin Adder regarding this Dance of the Damned somewhat difficult to believe. Okay, kitty. But if even a great hero like Aelet here would come all the way here for this purpose, I would be a fool to dismiss the threat. And yet, I have questions. The instructions from your Mistress Nashmira called for rounding up potential prominent members of the commoner class and seating them front and center at your performance. I did not object, of course, but whatever purpose is this meant to serve? The Totentaz is the plague that spreads from one man's heart to the next, and those whose hearts weigh heaviest with anger, fear, and unease are often the first to fall prey to his clutches. If we can assemble influential members of the community and free their hearts from shadow before disaster strikes, these men and women could in turn raise the spirit of their peers. Mistress Nashmira believes this is our best hope for curtailing the spread of the Totentaz. Where the leaders go, so others will follow. I suppose it is as logical a course of action as any. Very well, I have identified suitable personages and extended to them an invitation to your performance. The venue will be before the Gates of Judgment. We believe this location would be most accessible to those who live outside the city walls. Thank you kindly, my good sir. Well then, Aelet, we'd best get on our way. We don't want to keep our audience waiting out there in the freezing cold, do we? Oh, why did I remind myself about the cold? Brrr! Apparently it's cold. Okay. Outside the Gates of Judgment, we might as well just teleport out then. Yeah, it's a pretty short flight here from Camp Dragonhead. Wasn't this not cold before Meteor fell in 1.0? Wasn't this area supposedly not cold? Or I mean, that's I never was in 1.0, so I don't know. Talk about an imposing audience. Now let's give them a show to remember. Oh, and Aelet, let's keep the true purpose of our performance to ourselves, all right? We don't want to cause a panic, after all. If we can draw out and dispel the darkness before the Totentaz strikes, our task will be that much the easier. And besides, we want our audience to enjoy the show, don't we? I must admit, I'm a bit nervous, but I know we'll be fine if we trust in each other. All right, here goes nothing. Watch closely and follow my lead. I might be right. Okay, can't easily remember, though. Okay. Alright. Ladies, gentlemen, fair citizens of the Holy See, hailing from distant Razat-Han in the east, we are Troop Falcium. Today we dance for you the Kriegsdance, an ancient art passed down to us from the days of yore. Though the Kriegsdance was born on the battlefield, it is a dance that brings healing and succor. Your people have suffered for too long the horrors of the Dragonsong War. Let our performance fill your hearts with hope and heal any scars that may linger. And now, without further ado, let the show begin! I've never seen dancing like this before. It stirs the very depth of my soul. Just watching her, I can feel all my pain and anger melting away. Oh. Hi. Hi. Well, so much for avoiding panic. Pay no mind to those ominous clouds. It's all part of the performance, you see. Yes, Troop Falcium spares no expenses in treating our audience to a spectacle for the senses. Oh. That's your cue, Aelet. Now sweep those nasty shadows away. Oh, boy. Okay. When I received a sudden invitation to this performance, I didn't know what to expect. But that was simply remarkable. Ever since the show ended, my mind is clear, and all my troubles don't seem so bad anymore. Reading is apparently going to be a challenge for me tonight. And I the same. I must say, that last scene where those fearsome shadow beasts appeared was particularly dramatic and invigorating. It's the strangest feeling. Even though my lot in life hasn't changed one bit, I feel like I'll be able to face tomorrow with my head held high. Ah, you folks are far too kind. But I thank you, one and all. Never in my life have I felt so proud to be a dancer. So apparently, yeah, you say where I come from this counts as medicine. Apparently it's as good as drugs. I mean, the good stuff, too. Nothing quite like seeing those smiling, satisfied faces, don't you agree? Don't you agree, Ailette? Just the thought that we were able to bring a measure of happiness and hope to these proud, strong people makes all the hard hours of training worthwhile. And can you believe it? We were even able to stave off the shadows before the Totentaz even struck. I do believe we've more than done Nashmira proud. Good, Ailette. I'm glad to see you're branching in from Stoic Nod into Stoic Nod. Okay. I dare say our job here is done, so why don't we head back to Gridania and share the good tidings with everyone? I'll race you there. Okay. Back to Gridania. Where it's warmer. I wonder why she went there. Okay. Yeah, I can't imagine why more people don't go visit Ishgard. And hello, Asuka. Welcome to the stream. How's it been going? I've noticed you've been playing a lot of Tales of Arise. Ailette, it's Mistress Nashmira. She's gone. Settle down, Rana. Nothing ill has befallen our leader. She is simply taking a leave of absence, entirely of her own volition. She said she had a matter to attend to with an old friend. The same friend who introduced her to her patron, Master Gigaruju, if I recall. NK, not post-game yet. That sounds like an RPG, alright. She was reluctant to go into detail, but it would seem this individual is also familiar with the Totentaz and has been researching the situation in Alamigo on our behalf. Miss Nashmira means to join her there and scout out a suitable venue for our ultimate performance. She has asked that you and Rana continue training on your own until such time as she summons us. 50 plus hours? So, that actually seems quite normal by modern RPG standards there. I mean, a lot of the recent ones I played were at least 70, so... would it have killed her to at least wait for our report? Or does this mean that she actually trusts us? Could that be? Could that possibly be? If Mistress Nashmira believes in our ability to handle affairs, I suppose we owe her the same in return. Now that Alamigo has finally been freed from the Garlean yoke, surely it's only a matter of time before its people are ready to welcome us with open arms. At the same time, much like Ishgard, it is the land whose people have known more than their fair share of suffering. We will need to be at our best to deliver them from the dance of the damned. You know what that means, Ailette. We must train with greater discipline than ever before. 5 hours just fishing. Fishing minigames, the enemy of progress. Yeah, give me just 1 second. My throat is being a little rude tonight. Alright, let's continue. Save the last dance for me. Ron Amigo has a letter in hand and is excitedly waving it in your direction. Great news, Ayelet. A post Moogle just dropped off this letter from Mistress Nashmira. She says the stage has all been set for our performance in Alamigo. Why, she's even scouted out what claims to be an ideal venue to host our expedition. A village called Alagana that sits in the Girabania Highlands. Doubtless in part due to its location near the border, there are considerable fears among the villagers that the Garleans will return and retake their home with a vengeance. In other words, it is precisely the sort of place where the Totentaz is likely to strike. At any rate, Mistress Nashmira assures me that she and her secretive acquaintance have made all the necessary preparations. The Alamigan resistance, she says, has seen fit to ensure that Alagana's most prominent residents will be in attendance. If we can perform as well as we did in Ishgard and swiftly dispel the darkness from their hearts, surely they will be able to influence their fellow villagers and stave off the onset of the Totentaz. What did she say at the very end of her letter? Ah, yes. Rana, Ayelet, the success of our tour, and the very future of Troop Falcium itself rides on you. I'm counting on you to rise to the occasion. So no pressure. Are you as excited as I am? Let's make this a show for the ages. And with that, let us set out for Alagana. We mustn't keep Mistress Nashmira waiting. Alright, so just a little trip out to the lands of Alamigo. Or Girabania, as they call it. Yes, that's right. Yeah, 5 minutes of dialogue and then a fight. Yep. That's about how Final Fantasy XIV goes. Yep. Alright. Ah, there you are, Ayelet. Have you by chance seen Mistress Nashmira? I can't find her anywhere, but I'm sure she'll be along soon. I know she wouldn't miss our performance for the world. And look at what I found. I've scoured the troops' wardrobe to find outfits befitting our grand finale. One thing's for certain, we'll be dressed to impress. And remember, mum's the word about the Totentaz, alright? We want our audience to enjoy the performance without worrying themselves with the terrible truth behind it all. Well then, whenever you're ready to take the stage, you know where to find me. Uh-oh, time to enter duty. Solo duty, that is. This is it, Ayelet. Ready to raise the curtain on our final act? Oh yes, I am ready. Let us do this. So close, and yet so far. For all who could not make the voyage to our home, we bring our art to yours. Hailing from Razat Han across the sea, I present the incomparable, transcendent, Troop Falcium. Today we perform for you the ancient dance of our ancestors, a spectacle to stir the heart, enrich the mind, and chase away the shadows of doubt that plague your soul. Feast your eyes upon the Creek Stance. I'm sure this will be fine. Things will be fine, I'm sure. Yeah, this is normal. Right on cue. Alright, Aylet, let's take out that nasty thing before our audience realizes it's not just for show. Just look at those enraptured faces. The excitement in the air is almost palpable. They know they're about to get a show the likes of which they've never seen. The Alamegans are counting on us, Aylet, and in more ways than they themselves even know. We must dance, and not stop dancing until every last shadow has been purged from their hearts. This is the performance we were born to give. I'm sorry, Rana, that my chakrams are glowier than yours. This is probably not the time to talk about that. Oh, which also reminds me. Oh. Okay. Oh, okay. Not an intercept this time. Oh look, someone else has arrived. That was silly of me. And bye-bye. Mistress Nashmira! Oh, I knew you wouldn't miss our grand finale. And your dancing, why, you were every bit as enchanting as I remember from all those years ago. Sharing the stage with you was truly a dream come true. I simply had to make amends for my embarrassing display in Gridania, did I not? My wounds had all but healed entirely, so I redoubled my training efforts after arriving here in Alamigo. I dare say I feel as spry as I have in years. And yet, there can be no doubt, you and Aelette were the true stars today. To think that you have come so far in such a short span of time. Mayhap I should have just admired your performance from the wings instead of stepping in. Tut-tut, Mara. I seem to recall you telling me just the other day the girl was still not ready for the spotlight. You know me well, Laman. I am strict with my students because I expect only the best from them, and these two have done me proud today. Fancy meeting you here, Aelette. I must admit, it gave me quite a start when my Mara here told me that you, of all people, had joined her merry little troop. Mara and I go far, far back, you know. After those horrific events unfolded in Ul'dah, I hid away in Thavnir for some time. It was then that we first made each other's acquaintance. Song and dance go together rather well, needless to say, and our friendship rapidly blossomed. When she turned to me for assistance in planning Group Falcium's tour of Eorzea, I was more than happy to do my part. It does not surprise me that an accomplished adventurer would have many friends across the realm, but never would I have suspected you and my dear Laman were so close. Truly, fate must have brought us together for a reason. I feel the same. Your presence alone has motivated me to grow in ways I never would have thought possible. You have given me the courage, strength, and determination to be more than what I was. Thought I recognized that face from somewhere. From Liberator of Alamigo to Traveling Performer, eh? Not a path I'd have predicted, but I'm hardly surprised to see you emerge triumphant in whatever you do. Aye, that was a performance for the ages. Here in Alagana, we don't get much exposure to foreign cultures. Rather stimulating, that was. Especially the grand finale where you chased off those bloody shadow beasts. Got the blood pumping, I'll say. I only wish there was more to do, more we could do to show our appreciation. Think nothing of it, my good sir. Just knowing we've brought a measure of joy to Alamigo in its time of need is reward enough for us. Too kind you are, miss. The road ahead of us is a long one, but thanks to you, we can stride down it with a spring in our step. Know that our village is always open to you, should you ever be willing to grace us with another performance. Farewell, friends. Phew! For a second, I thought he'd realized the true nature of those shadows, But no, the threat in the Totem Task is gone for now, and it seems no one's the wiser. That is heartening indeed. And with that, we should prepare for our departure. The Alamegans were kind enough to invite us in these trying times. We mustn't linger so long that our presence becomes a burden. I too should be on my way. It was a pleasure and honor both to see you on the stage again, Mira. And you as well, Ayelet. Till our paths cross again, go in safety. Okay. Well, that's the last of it. Our props are packed up and we're ready to take to the road. I must say, it's a touch bittersweet knowing that this was our last performance, but I suppose even the best of things must come to an end. Mr. Snatchmira will go ahead and limp some Liminsa to secure his passage back to Ross at hand. You'll stop by and see us off, yes? We'd like to pay you proper thanks before taking our leave of this land. And with that, we must go back to Limsa Lominsa. Alright. Limsa Lominsa, always the busiest of the three major cities. Let's just say the three original major cities. Ayelet, I'm so touched. You really did come to see us off. Thank you ever so much for all you've done. It was an honor to tour Eorzea with you and bring strength and succor to its people. You have my gratitude as well, Ayelet. The people whose hearts you have touched will, in turn, inspire others. Yes, before long, the Dance of the Damned will be but a memory. And yet, until that time, we cannot let down our guard. I propose that we extend our tour of Eorzea, in the event there are yet people in this realm who still require our aid. Do you truly mean this, Mr. Snatchmira? Ayelet and I can keep dancing together? In good time, Rana, yes, but Ayelet is an adventurer, and one whose services are justifiably in high demand. It would not be very considerate of us to monopolize her services for our ends. And so, we bid you farewell for now. Rana and I will remain in Limsa and consult with Master Gicheruju about potentially extending our tour to new locations. Pray come back and visit us on occasion, yes? Rana gets awfully lonely without company. Hey, that's not... Well, I suppose it is true. Keep dancing, Ayelet, and let us eagerly await the day that we can take the stage together anew. In chasing the shadows from the hearts of your okay. Yeah, in order to undertake the next dance request, you must meet the following requirements. You must have completed the main scenario quest, Shadowbringers. You must have completed the role quest, Courage Born of Fear. Okay, yep. Once you've done so, the next dance request will be available from Nashmira. Okay. Okay. I'm a little surprised they divided it up this way, because there's really not a lot left of the Dancer quest line. I'm a little surprised that there's actually like a separate chapter for what's left. Oh, there we go, DPS. Alright. Alright, there we go. Rising to the occasion. Nashmira is elated to see one of her favorite young protégés return. Well, if it isn't Aeolette, what a delightful surprise. And just look at that posture and poise. I can see you've not neglected your training one bit since we've last parted. As for us, Troop Falcium continues to tour Eorzea, bringing hope to the dejected and downtrodden. Whenever and wherever the Totentas threatened to rear its ugly head, we were there to cast off the shadows. With tales of our performances spreading across the realm, we've had no small number of inspiring dancers knocking at our door. Training them was consuming nearly all my waking hours, but recently, Rana has stepped in to help shoulder the burden. Truly, I'd be lost without her. And what of you, Aeolette? Have you had any noteworthy performances since we met? Yeah, I traveled to and from a distant world. Yes. And I thought our voyage to distant shores was a long one. I see you've had yourself quite an adventure, though I confess the full import of your tale is quite beyond my comprehension. Still, this bounty hunter you befriended put you in quite the predicament, didn't he? It reminds me of another troublemaker I used to know. Me? A troublemaker? I may have been immature, but I only had my friend's best interests at heart. Isn't that right, Aeolette? And besides, it sounds like even this bounty hunter came around in the end. Indeed, there is a certain something about you, Aeolette, something that brings out the best in those whose lives you touch. And Rana here is a prime example. The hot-headed girl I once knew has come into her own as a dancer, a woman, and a leader of her peers. Perhaps it's finally time that... Yes, I am sure of it. Aeolette, Rana, there is a dilemma that has been weighing heavily on me of late, but I do believe I finally found an answer. Pray accompany me out of the city into the Lost Nausea. I will discuss matters further with you away from the crowds. Of which crowds are you speaking? Okay, you know what? Let's see, which exit? That one, apparently. Okay. It's a bit leggy in here in Limsa right now. I can't imagine why. Okay. How far exactly did you go? Kind of expected she'd be out by the gate, but... Okay, not too far. Alright. Aeolette, Rana, forgive me for not sharing the news with you two sooner. As fortune would have it, Troop Falcium has been invited to perform at the Musicosa in Kujane, and our patrons are willing to pay a premium for our services. The Musicosa? You mean I could dance on the same stage that is hosted some of the most renowned artists in all the Far East? Someone pinch me. When do we leave? As soon as we are able, and therein lies my dilemma. The threat of the Totentas still looms over Eorzea, and I have a duty to train the next generation of dancers to carry on Troop Falcium's mission. I cannot very well abandon these shores while my life's work remains undone, and so I turn to you. Ranamigo, you have blossomed into a fine dancer and a capable leader. I would have you assume my role as principal and oversee Troop Falcium's tour of Kugane. Mr. Nashmira, what are you saying? It is the only practical solution. You would travel to Kagane to share our art with our friends in the Far East, and I could remain here to train our new recruits and deliver the people of Eorzea from the throes of the Totem Paths. But I'm not ready for this. There's still so much I must learn. You told me as much just moons ago. And I have seen you come far since then. No one is born a leader, and doubtless it will be a struggle at first. But you are every bit as prepared for this role as I was the day I inherited it. I would not make this offer if I did not believe this with all my heart, and yet I cannot and will not force the position upon you. But at the very least, pray think upon it a little while. Me? Leader and principal of Troop Falcium? I do believe Mistress Nashmira's lost her wits. Why, I still remember the days when I would trip over my own 2 feet every time I took the stage. And yet she seems intent on remaining here in Eorzea. If I refuse, the curtains will fall on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to showcase our art on the Far East's biggest stage. And yet, were I to go and fail spectacularly, I swear my mind is going in circles. Whatever should I do, Aeolette? It's not like me to brood and fret like this. Well, you are a dancer, are you not? What are you saying? That if I cannot find the answer I seek in still thought, perhaps I might find it in motion? You may very well be right. Dance with me, Aeolette. Show me through your emotions all you have learned in your travels, and help me to clear the shadows of doubt from my mind. Okay. A stunning view, no sign of onlookers from Malms. Yes, this place should serve nicely for our private performance. We dance today not for admiring clouds, our only audience is each other. So face me, Aeolette. I would look upon your movements in all their glory, and let you inspire me to greater heights. Oh, thank you, Aeolette. That was simply exhilarating. From the first step, I couldn't take my eyes off you. Before I knew it, I'd forgotten myself, my worries carried off by the wind. You were watching me, yes? What did you think? Have I truly come far, as Mistress Nashmira says? Indeed you have, and... No, we'll go with this. You will go further. Ha! So you're saying there's still room for improvement, eh? Well, consider the challenge accepted. I'll train harder than ever, and next time we meet, you'll see what I'm truly capable of. No, that wasn't really what I thought that was going to mean, but okay. In any event, this I know more than ever. Dancing is my life, my calling. I must continue to perfect my craft, that I might inspire and bring hope to others, just as Mistress Nashmira and you have inspired me. The answer is clear to me now. I may not be the leader she was, but I will be the leader I know I can be. Thank you for everything, Aelet. I must return the limps and relay the news to Mistress Nashmira. You will join me there, won't you? Yeah, very head-patable. Yes, she's very head-patable. I knew you'd like her, Carl. Okay. So, back to Limps-a-Lemons, so... Let's just go ahead and teleport. It takes a lot of boxes, yeah. Rana came here dashing into town, half out of breath. I can only assume what this means. The girl has found her answer, has she not? You bet I have. I may not be ready to fill your toe shoes completely, but damned if I'm not going to try. Leave the tour of Kugani to me. I am proud of you, Rana. Now go and tell the others that you must begin preparations at once. I will be along with Aelet shortly. While I'm beyond pleased with the results, I must admit I did not expect the girl to reach a decision so quickly. Whatever did you do to bring about her change of heart? Well, we danced together. So it was not with the words, but through your actions that you spoke to the girl. Indeed, it is as I thought. Your very presence is as a mirror that helps those around you discover their true selves. In any event, Rana owes much to you, my friend, as do I. Troop Falcium is stronger for you having joined us. Come now, let us return to the others. Couple of shows, fought some monsters. Just dancer stuff indeed. Alright. Maybe someone else training to become a dancer there. I cannot say I was prepared for this, and yet, if this is how Mistress Nashmira would have it, it is far from my place to oppose. Besides, nothing in this world can last forever. With the end of one era comes the beginning of the next, and all of us here welcome Mistress Rana's reign. We will do all in our power to see that Troop Falcium continues to flourish under her stewardship. Kutla, my friends, you are too kind. Let us not forget that we are all in this together. If we move forward as one, there's no limit to the heights we may reach. And with that, we must prepare to set sail without delay. In Kugani, too, there are those whose spirits sag, and we must bring them hope as only Troop Falcium can. I, too, should be getting on. The Totentas threatens to return in hidden corners of the realm, and I must train the next generation of dancers to continue our fight. And you have your own adventures to return to, don't you, Aelet? But don't be sad. Mistress Nashmira, you and I, even if we go our separate ways, we will always be united by our passion for dance. Our paths will cross again, I'm certain. And on that day, you'll be simply astonished at the dancer I've become. Mark my words. And so do you, my rival, my friend. I say not farewell, but rather, keep dancing, until we might once again take the same stage. And once you've done this too, you can find Rana on the bridge in Kugane, so. But yeah, that was, I said, I was a little surprised they separated that out into its own part. So, on that note, let's see, tank class. Let us go to Gunbreaker. Which would also be a good idea if I became a Gunbreaker. So there we go. Yeah, a lot of this starts to take place in the Shroud. So once again to Gardania. Yeah, the most FF8 of jobs. Yeah. Alright. An anxious member of the God's Quiver is haranguing passersby, presumably for some worthy cause. Oi, miss! Fancy making yourself useful? Listen close. A gang of highwaymen have been applying their trade around here the last few days, and we're trying to flush them out. They're slippery buggers, though, so we need all the help we can get. That's where you come in. We spotted them lurking in the bramble patch, and we're getting ready to spring our trap. All you have to do is collar anyone who strikes you as a bit shifty and raise the alarm. We'll take care of the rest. Alright. I don't know if this sounds like the best plan to me, but let's go with it. Okay. Ah, here we are. Out of my way, or I'll gut you. Okay. Well. You have my thanks, stranger. And mine. If you hadn't shown up, things could have gone very badly for us. It's my fault. I'll be more careful next time. Truth be told, I thought we'd have an easier time of it on this side of the wall. How wrong I was! Yeah, I forgot I'm like 20 levels above where this starts, so... Not too surprising that my first attack would be what takes him out. To think we could be caught unawares by a gang of common thieves. What's going on? We heard a commotion and... Ah, that's one of them, just like the witnesses described. Hey, Vegeta, how's it going? It's strange that they go after a pair like you. All their marks so far have been merchants and whatnot. You know, marks carrying coin and valuables who won't put up much of a fight. I reckon that if any of their cronies are out there watching, they'll think twice before crossing you lot again. Still, it might be an idea for you to see these travelers to Gridania. Me and the others will keep looking for the rest of the highwaymen. It's been basically another sleepy day and a kind of a sleepy week, so... Yeah, that's how it's been going, pretty much for... yeah. Those bandits, something about this doesn't sit right with me. We barely have a fistful of gil between us, and I have a couple of foams of edged steel strapped to my back. Not the most likely of targets. Perhaps that's why they went straight for the kill, and they might have succeeded if you hadn't stepped in. We are in your debt. I am Radovan, and this is Sophie. We traveled here from Isilbard, far to the north, where I once served as a soldier of Garlemald. Yup, I'm not gonna make Ayla happy with that. I had no choice. My family was taken hostage. While it is true I have fought and killed for the Empire, I never would have done so willingly. Although I freed myself of their shackles, the life I had known is no more. But that was another life, one I would sooner put behind me. I came to Eorzea in the hope that I might start anew here. Okay, good, we don't have to murder him. Alright. As for me, I also escaped from the Garleans. I was part of a resistance movement, until we were all rounded up, or killed, that is. The Empire took everything from me. My family, my homeland. With nowhere else to go, the two of us decided we'd stand a better chance of surviving if we stuck together. And here we are. To see me now, you'd scarce believe I once served as personal guard to my queen. But in the end, I couldn't protect her. I couldn't protect anyone. Not even my wife and son. While I would have gladly given my life for theirs, it was not to be. Even so, there may still be use for the skills I spent years honing. Those whom I might yet deliver from harm. That's why I suggested looking for employment as a bodyguard in Eorzea, and Gridania seems like a good place to start. I know you've helped us enough already, but I have a proposal. Would you consider working with us? Now hold on, Radovan, that's rather a lot to ask, don't you think? But Ayla has what it takes to become a gunbreaker. It seems my gunblade has caught your eye. You may have seen Garleans wielding something similar, but this is the genuine article. The ones used by the Empire are simply edged weapons with a firearm bolted on, or vice versa. While they have their uses, they pale in comparison to those my clan forged for generations. Our gunblades use etherically imbued cartridges. When you pull the trigger, the powdered crystal within ignites, releasing the ether. This sends a powerful shockwave through the blade, increasing its destructive capabilities. The cartridges can even be fired into the air to create defensive barriers. Perhaps you should save the lectures until you've heard Ayla's answer? Ah, yes, first things first. So, are you interested? In exchange for assisting us, I will teach you the art of the gunbreaker. And I was wondering if you might be able to act as a guide. If you'd accept gunblade training as a form of payment, we'd be most grateful. Once the coin starts rolling in, you'll receive a fair share. You need not answer right away, but please, give it some thought. Well, we didn't start this to say no. Have you reached a decision? Do I wish to become a gunbreaker? Yes. From this day forth, our fates are entwined. While the path that lies ahead is not an easy one, the spirits of my predecessors will watch over you. Alright. Now that the gunbreakers of Eld have yielded a portion of their wisdom, you are ready to take blade in hand. Rather than spend moons and moons training you, perhaps we'd best find employment first. We can use the time between assignments to refine your abilities. But where should we start? The Adventurous Guild. Yes, that sounds quite promising. I suppose we are adventurers, after all. Tell me, Ayla, are you familiar with this sort of thing? No. No. Not at all. Not at all. Yes. Oh my! In that case, we couldn't find a better guide. Well, there's no time like the present, shall we? And so, back to Gridania. Alright. The Carline Canopy is this way. Alright, where are they at? Oh, here they are. Now that Mother Mion has made us formal members of the Adventurous Guild, we can start accepting assignments. In fact, we've already been given the details of a potential client in need of a bodyguard or two. A man named Lawson Chow is waiting by the Wailing Barracks. Sophie and I will try making our way there to get our bearings. Okay. And I actually don't know where the Wailing Barracks are. Okay, well, let's go down here. Let's see. Okay, back here, so Lancer's Guild. You must be the one sent by the Adventurous Guild, yes? Oh, thank goodness. Something dreadful has befallen, well, threatens to befall, the one and only Editha. Editha? Yeah. You mean to say you are unfamiliar with the most gifted harpsichordist who ever lived? Whatever possessed me to hire such uncultured but... It appears my breath would be better spent briefing you on the nature of my request. A few days ago, Editha received a most unwelcome missive, a death threat to be precise. At first I deemed it nothing more than the crazed scrawlings of some harmless churl. That was until, during a recital, a stone was thrown at her, missing by a hair's breadth. I have, in my capacity as her manager, cancelled all public appearances until the perpetrator can be brought to justice. I fear, though, that my delicate tulip would wither and fail if confined to her dressing room, and she has herself expressed a desire to stroll freely beneath the canopies of Mind Keto's amphitheater. I see where this is going. You wanted to take her for a walk, is that it? If that is all we have to do, we should count ourselves lucky. A threatening letter, a brazen attack in a public place? Who knows what will happen next? But she can't stay indoors forever. I say we accept. Splendid! Without any further ado, I shall have Editha prepare for her promenade. We'd best proceed carefully. If the culprit knows that Lassen Chu asked the Adventurous Guild for help, then we can probably deduce that Editha will be coming out of it. They can probably deduce that Editha will be coming out of hiding. We should see if anyone bears a grudge against her so that we know what to expect. And we better look around the amphitheater for places where an ambusher might hide. Alright. Oh, where was... There we are. Alright, let us teleport over to the amphitheater. And begin talking to people. Know of her? I certainly do. I would consider myself to be one of her many admirers. In all honesty, I do not care for the way some of the others ogle her. If the rumors about Editha receiving death threats are true, only one of those lecherous scoundrels must be behind it. Why, yes, Editha has been the talk of Gridania since her debut. Her skill as a musician is without question, although I sense that many of her admirers are more interested in her bizarre stage garb. Okay. There we are. Speak to me, sir. Oh, Editha! Even a moment deprived of her sumptuous harmonies is akin to an eternity of unimaginable torment. When, oh when, will she grace me with her splendor once more? Well, yes, that is a perfectly normal fan response. We will not be watching you at all, sir. Don't worry, when it seems like our eyes are on you, it's not because we're watching you. Not at all. Ayelet, have you met Miss Ondine? She's a harpsichordist like Editha. That poor girl, what is the world coming to? That a gifted and beautiful young performer such as her must hide away for fear of her life? It beggars belief. It must be one of her followers. I've seen the way some of them look at her, and it makes my skin crawl. With fans like that, who needs enemies? So, what did the other locals have to say? Yes, most of them think one of Edith's admirers is to blame, but I sense there's more to it. I think until we have more information, we should treat everyone with equal suspicion to be on the safe side. Personally, I prefer to carry out a more thorough investigation, but we best not keep our clients waiting. Okay. Let me guess. Yep, back over there. Back to the Adventurous Guild. Or more accurately, a building adjacent to the Adventurous Guild. Oh boy, a solo duty. Editha assures me that she will be ready in 2 shakes of whatever that means. Alright. Ah, my chaperones have arrived. How wonderful. Oh, to finally feel the sun's warming rays. I am reborn. They weren't joking when they called her eccentric. All this prancing about is going to draw unwanted attention. We better get this over with as quickly as possible. Sophie, Ayelet and I will escort her to the amphitheater. Why don't you stay behind with Lassenshire in case we need to hurry back? Fine by me. I'll keep an ear out for any signs of danger and come running if you call. Although I was fully prepared to join you in guarding Editha, and even dressed for the occasion, I will defer to your professional opinion and remain here. But promise me that you will keep my sweet Petunia safe. Leave it to us. Are you ready, Ayelet? Yes, let's go escort the sweet Petunia. La la la! What a beautiful day for a stroll. We only need to escort her to the amphitheater and back, but keep your eyes peeled. We shall put up our tank stance. Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. La la la. And avoid any needless frolicking. I don't think I've ever seen anywhere so peaceful and serene. Oh, Gridania is a wonderful place indeed. You should stay a while. Haha, I will give it some thought. Is that? It is. It's Editha. Wait, don't run on ahead. An unwanted distraction. Or perhaps they can tell us why those bandits are after Editha. I hear that Editha has become something of a recluse of late. I do hope she returns to grace the stage once more. Is it true her music is inspired by all the wondrous places she's seen on her travels? No idea. Editha has only recently begun performing in Gridania and already has amassed a considerable following. I have heard, however, that some of the other harpsichordists are envious of her success. The whole of Gridania delights in Editha's magnificent melodies. Every other musician pales in comparison to her. You are escorting the lovely Editha? Please allow me to make a record of this day's events. So, you get the impression that Jell's rival is the instigator? There she is, with the rabbit ears! Never you mind, step away from the girl, nice and slow. I think not, Ayelet. Don't let them near her. Oh, wow. You go on ahead. I will hold them off here. There could be more of them, so be on your guard. We must be ready to strike at a moment's notice. This is a lot more than one person trying to kill her, so... Those horrid bandits won't spoil my day. Oh. There's a lot of people trying to kill her. What was that? Leave these ruffians to me. I and the other wood whalers will get to the bottom of this. Not much farther now. Do you know who could be behind these attacks? No idea. Crazy people? Yes, I think we've gathered that much. What a beautiful day. Oh boy. It's too quiet. They must be expecting us. What? My, what a naughty little rabbit. It seems you wandered too far from your warren. The stage is set for your curtain call, though it cost me a pretty penny to rent the place. This will be the last time you walk all over my stage with those grubby little paws of yours. As you stand next to something with no doubt grubbier claws. Seriously. Remember, Edith is their target. Don't let her out of your sight. Useless. And you call yourself professionals. Looks like it's... Now she sent beasts after us? Oh, I don't like this. Look at that. Yeah, hit me. Oh. What's wrong? No more surprises? Sorry to disappoint you, but I'm afraid not. The show's over with. Now take off that mask before I cut it off in your face with it. Wow, Radovan. Miss Ondine, I might have guessed, but what's Editha ever done to deserve this? That harlot doesn't know the first thing about real music, and she thinks she can steal my fans, my stage, with those appalling outfits of hers? I won't stand for it. I won't! What happened here? Arrest the jealous rival. I had heard that Ondine wasn't exactly a fan of Editha, but I never thought she'd pay to have her killed. And now we know that the highwaymen in the woods were in on her schemes too. A few days back, they held up Ondine's carriage in the shroud, but she made them an offer worth more than the valuables she was carrying. Mind you, I don't suppose there's as many of them left after today. You have done us all a good turn, so if you ever need anything from the God's Quiver, don't hesitate to ask. Now that the danger has passed, Editha will at long last be able to make her triumphant return to Mikado's amphitheater. There's still one thing I don't quite understand. Why did those highwaymen attack me and Radovan in the woods? Maybe it was because of your ears? I imagine Ondine told them how much I love wearing my favorite bunny crown. They probably thought you were me. Those ones aren't real Viara ears, at least I don't think so. Actually, I was wondering if I might have a word in private with the three of you. But there are four of us. Yes, but only if I include you, which I'm not. What have I done to deserve such treatment? Well, I suppose a lady is entitled to her secrets, but before I return to my duties, I wish to express my gratitude for your part in today's events. You have both performed admirably. We cultureless louts, thank you. Now that pesky manager of mine is out of the way, let's go to the Great Lone Brewery. Alright. Let's see, what's the closest? Botanist Guild, okay, yep. That makes sense. Okay. Okay, oops, I think I made the wrong turn. One day when you're famous enough, the quest will come to you for a change. Hopefully. Alright. You risked life and limb to protect me, so I feel it's only fair that I explain myself. One moment, please. Oh, my. What? You mean to say she was a sylph from the very beginning? Oh yes, this one feels much more comfortable now. It is fun to use glamours and play the harpsichord, but a little tiring. And this one spent so long in walking one's house, this one nearly died. These ones need the sun's rays to flourish, to live. That is why this one had to go outside, even though dangerous ones were all around. This one hopes helpful ones will understand and not tell a simpering one. Listening ones will be sad if this one can no longer play sweet, sweet music. Your secret is safe with us. I'm ever so grateful. Promise you'll come listening to my harpsichord soon. Yes? Tee. And in the next quest, we gather milk root for her. I mean, no, that's something else. Not quite the conclusion I was expecting, but a satisfactory one nonetheless. I must say, you've acquitted yourself rather well, Yellet. It normally takes a lot longer for novices to grasp the fundamental differences between a gunblade and a regular sword. It was originally developed by my people in the Third Astral Era. The march of the Elegant Empire had driven us to the barren wastelands, where even survival was a constant struggle. Our queen, Gunhilder, was closely guarded by loyal soldiers known for the unique swords they wielded. These loyal vassals were known as Gunhilder's Blades, a name that was abbreviated and applied to the most distinctive of their weapons, the gunblade. Meanwhile, the Elegans were developing firearms capable of launching projectiles over great distances. As they were similar in appearance to our gunblades, we referred to these weapons as guns, a term which is now commonplace. So effective were these new weapons on the battlefield, the Queen's Guard decided to specialize in smashing through the enemy lines and destroying them as swiftly as possible. Thus did they come to be known as gunbreakers. Even after the fall of the Elegant Empire, these techniques were passed down to each new generation. My clan are the descendants of Gunhilder's Royal Guard, although I am all that remains. I take it you've heard this story before, Sophie? It is my duty to see that the art of the gunbreaker lives on, even if that means entrusting it to an outsider, such as yourself. If you like history lessons, you two will get along like a house on fire. I'd best leave it there for the time being. I don't want to overwhelm the lass. The best learning is done in the field, however. As pleasant as Gridania is, I'm eager to see what the other city-states have to offer. Then may I suggest Ul'dah? Their markets have goods from all over the world, and I'm dying to take a look. Ul'dah it is, then. Sophie and I will go on ahead. When you arrive, seek us out. We shouldn't be hard to find. Alright, I think we will go ahead and take care of the next quest, and then we will call the stream. Which... quicksand, so I gotta go over, yes. Right to Ul'dah City, then. Adventurous Guild, which is also what the quicksand is. Do gotta love a cat's purr. Alright. It's good to finally get away from that noisy marketplace. Not that this watering hole is much quieter. Still, it is a paradise compared to anything you'll find in Garlean territory. I think he's just in a sour mood because he can't find any work. You're not wrong there, Sophie. I'll keep looking, though. Ayelet, you better train by yourself until we find our next client. which, with a little luck, will be soon. Alright, for better or worse, Radovan has found a citizen in Ul'dah in need of a bodyguard. Just one? Really? Okay. The walls that surround this city remind me of my homeland. We built it as a fortress to keep out invaders. Not that it made much difference in the end. I meant just one citizen in need of a bodyguard. Around here, you'd think there'd be, like, hundreds? Thousands? Oh, not this again. Perhaps you could lighten the mood by sharing our recent bit of good news? Ah, yes, it looks like we found our next client. Nothing's been decided, but a lady named Oriel is waiting for us near the gate of Thal. We'll meet you there. Alright. Oh, the gate of Thal, I think, is... Ah, yep. Over by the Sapphire, okay. Yep, over by the market. Okay, there we are. Hi, Oriel. You're the bodyguards, right? We need your help. It's my husband. After he walked out, I thought I'd seen the last of him, but now you gotta keep him away from us. I'm not sure we're qualified to settle domestic disputes. Radovan, this sounds serious. Hear her out, would you? Very well, my apologies. Please continue. His name's Jarrod. He won't leave us alone, and he keeps jumping out to harass us when we're by ourselves. If we were to go outside the city gates, I'm sure he'd follow us, and when he does, I want you to scare him off. I doubt he'll show himself if he sees you have bodyguards, so we'll wait somewhere nearby. When the moment is right, we'll give him a fright he won't forget in a hurry. Yes, that ought to work. Tim and I will leave through this gate, so you should find a hiding place. It's time that bastard, excuse my language, learned his lesson. That's why I gotta end after this quest. There's no way I can keep reading much longer. Oh boy. Alright. Okay. Okay, here we go. Remember, we've got the boy to think about. I'd rather not cut a man down in front of his own son, but I will if I have to. You follow my lead. Get away from her! What? Who the bloody hells are you? Friends of Oriel. Now walk away while you still can. But I only want what's best for my boy. Your boy? You've got no right to call him that. He belongs to me. This is your final warning. Bother them again and you won't live to regret it. Haha, that'll teach him. And you were wonderful. Worth every kill. Thank you so much. It was our pleasure. Yeah, that didn't feel weird. Not at all. Although there wasn't much for you to do, your presence lent weight to my words. But most importantly, the client was satisfied with our work. Yes, she did seem rather pleased with herself. Listen, you two, there's no time to explain. We have to follow that woman. Hells bells. When Sophie gets one of her hunches, there's no stopping her. Well, yeah, that didn't feel weird to you, right? Something odd is going here. Okay. And dry bone. Okay, yeah, we're all the way. We're following her quite a ways. Alright. Oop. There we go. Wouldn't help to block my head on that cliff there. Why would she bring Tim all the way out here? Yes, this is getting more and more disturbing by this moment. What are we supposed to do with a runt like this? If we feed him up, he might be worth something one day. She's selling her own child? We've got to stop them. Wait, is that... Enough of this! Stay away from my son. Son, eh? Ha! You should have kept out of this, mate. Too late now. Well. Quickly, we've got to help him. Yeah. We should have done that more like 10 seconds ago, but okay. Not now. Ayelet, it's up to you. Huh. Alright then. Alright. Where did the other two... Oh, they're still standing there. They just don't have names for some reason. That's interesting. You saved us! How can I ever... Daddy! Ayelet, I let you down. I let everyone down. But Sophie, what happened here? I knew from the moment I met Oriel there was something not quite right about her. It wasn't later until I realized she's a somnus addict. Once it takes hold, it changes you. She was able to keep her addiction hidden from most, but not from me, and probably not from her family either. Yes, I've known for a while, but I had no idea she'd do something like this. God, if I hadn't started gambling, this never would have happened. My debt spiraled beyond my control, and she ran to get away from me, to start a new life with her son. The shock of losing them made me realize I couldn't live like that anymore, so I vowed to turn my life around and worked my fingers to the bone to repay the money I owed. But by the time I finally found the courage to track down Oriel, it was too late. She had made new friends, the wrong sort of friends, and had to resort to gods only know what to make ends meet. It became too much to bear, and Somnus was her only escape. Nothing else mattered to her, not even her own child. So you see, it wasn't only my life I ruined. I made her who she is today. That's why I don't have it in me to hate her. What will you do now? I plan to send her to Frondale's Frontistry. They can treat people like Oriel, though it costs more than most folks can afford. My savings should cover it for a short while, at least. We'll take it one day at a time and see how she responds to the treatment. I know she might never recover, but I can't give up on her. Obviously, she's in no fit state to look after Tim, so he'll be living with me. You could have been killed confronting those slavers. If you wind up dead, there'll be no one to look after the boy. From now on, you'll have to think before you act. I will, I swear it. Thank you all for everything you've done. Yeah, seriously. You gotta let the people who are You know, secretly tailing your wife and son handle the situation, not go in and jump in yourself. Wait. There might be a few things wrong with that. Oh, never mind anyway. Alright. That poor child. Sophie's quick thinking may have saved him on this occasion, but I fear his hardships are far from over. I, on the other hand, only succeeded in disgracing myself. Again. It's not your fault, Radovan. I think you owe Aelad an explanation, though. Yes, if we are to fight side by side, there is something you should know. Though I served as an Imperial conscript for a time, after I disobeyed a direct order, I was sentenced to solitary confinement for more than a decade. Ouch! Like many of the inmates, I was forced to wear a Magitech collar. The wardens could use them to administer a severe electric shock anytime they pleased. And pleased them, it did. The paralysis would eventually wear off, but even now, years after removing the collar, my whole body will suddenly seize up. It's as though the pain never left me and could reawaken at any moment. Thankfully, my condition seems to have improved somewhat since leaving the Empire. Perhaps one day I'll be free of it, but until then, there's no telling when it might strike. Radovan saved my bacon more times than I can count, so it's only fair that I do the same for him. We've been through thick and thin ever since the first time we met in that Garlean Gull. I was awaiting execution along with other captured members of the Resistance, as well as various insurgents and undesirables. Among them were several Somnus addicts. Even in an Imperial Gull, there are ways to get your hands on it. When I saw Oriel, I couldn't put my finger on it at first, but she had the same look in her eyes as those lost souls. Anyway, where was I? So, Radovan had been meaning to escape ever since he was first imprisoned, and was secretly digging a tunnel, a few ilms each night, over the course of about 10 years. The only thing was, it went the wrong way. Then one night, he suddenly burst through my wall. Why did you have to tell her that? You know I'm far from proud of my miscalculation. Well, things worked out in the end, didn't they? The other inmates made such a racket when you came crashing in, it drew the attention of the wardens, and all hells broke loose. In the confusion, Radovan and I forced our way past the guards. By some miracle, we managed to avoid their searchlights. And finally, we were free. Free to return to my wife and child, to my homeland. Or so I thought. While I've been rotting away in a Garlean cell, everything I knew, everything I loved, had been taken from me. I should have been there, but I couldn't even. Gah! Enough of this. We've spoken over long as it is. Well then, where to next? I think I've had my fill of Oda. Well, let's say we try our luck in Limsa Lominsa. I'm sure a change of scenery will do us a world of good. Yes, I'd like the sound of that. Let's reconvene at the local Adventurous Guild. Yeah, it's sure prettier than this place here, so we definitely, you know, it's definitely better scenery. All right. I don't think teleporting is really much of a help here, so. Since here we are. A city founded by pirates? Now there's a terrible idea if I ever heard one. With all the cutthroats running rampant, I'm surprised there's anyone left. But what about the views? The sea breeze? There'll be plenty of time to enjoy ourselves once we have a few more gil in our pockets. Aelette, we're still waiting for word from the guild, so perhaps you ought to find somewhere for a few practice swings in the meantime. Alright. And with that, I think we'll go ahead and call this stream for tonight. That's a pretty good place to end. And as such, let's Find someone to raid. Okay, let's see. Well, Tresden is still up, so let's go ahead and raid him. Oop. Hold on, there we go. Alright, thank you all for coming. And have fun over on Tresden's stream. He is playing Deltarune. And see you guys next time.